G'day, that slot car guy here. So welcome back to another video, and this one is an F1 special. Yes, 2021 F1s is just around the corner. I'm super excited. Should have been in Australia last weekend, but COVID-19 killed that. So I thought, let's take a look at not all of these, but some of the different F1 cars over the eras, and it's how they've changed. And I've got an extra special one at the end to show, which I think, should they bring this style of slot car back? I don't know, you tell me. So let's get into it. Let's check out some F1 cars. So welcome back to another video, and as I said in the intro, this is an F1 special, and I thought I'll show the quick evolution from 60s, 70s to 80s to 90s to 2000s, plus some current stuff. And how far we've come with design and build quality and just decal and paint, etc. And at the end, I've got a special to show off to see, do we go back to doing this? It was fun, it's quirky, I can't find many of them, but I'll leave that surprise for the end. It is a slot car, but I just like how they've packaged it and how it's come about. Now let's jump into it. Again, we'll do a quick evolution in celebration of the F1s coming back at the end of March. I wish they were in Australia, but we'll have to wait till the end of the year. So let's start off with Mr. Ferrari here. And we're looking, I think this is the 60s, 70s edition. I know the early ones were a ceramic slash porcelain slash metal, and they're quite heavy, but they're quite rare as well. So this is the plastic base with some die cast and everything else in it. But take note of how big the figurine is. And again, back in that era, it was a bathtub with a man driving with a leather helmet. So very cool. A quick note on these older cars, one of the wheels, normally left or right obviously, is bigger, and that made it drift around corners a little bit tricky, like you're driving in wet weather, just to change up the actual driving. So that's really cool how they did that. Flip it over. It's a real weird cylinder shape inline motor, and we've got a very odd design guide, and it's got 2 feet that press in and out, which is your negative and positive. I've lost one of them, and that goes into the track, and then these rest and bounce up and down on the actual lane itself, which is really genius. I think that was a great idea back then. So is it Truth 132? I'm not too sure. I don't measure my slot cars, but it is quite big for a slot car, but a beautiful thing. Wish I had it in a better condition, but most of these cars I'm going to show today, I don't. All right, so that's 60s, 70s. Now let's move into the 80s, and we're talking plastic. And of course, if you lived in the 80s, everything was plastic. Let's move Mr. Walter Wolf out the way and check out Mr. Red. And again, a lot of the parts on this are missing. The rear spoiler, I've got it somewhere, but it clicks in the back, just one piece. This is a plastic mold, so it's like a one piece, and it's just red plastic with some stick-on decals. Again, take note of the figure. It's just a helmet now, very small helmet. Nice big fat rear tyres. Flip it underneath and you've got a hollow shell with a motor and your gearing and just your guide. Very light, and if you tune these today, these are quite quick, and there's a lot of room in there to put a updated motor. Very cool. Again, I wish I had these original, but they're getting quite hard to find now. And just an alternative, unfortunately, I actually broke that. This was a complete car when I purchased it, and I've dropped it. Very old plastic, but again, black plastic shell with some stickers on it. You know, low quality, low budget, but does the job. And I love this stuff. The motor itself is part of the plastic mold, and there you go. I think this just pops off from memory. Look at that. It's incredible, but it worked. It's cool. Love it. Flip it over, and again, it's that bathtub style internal, motor, wires, gearing, you're done. Love it. Again, wish I had that box, but I don't. But we're getting, I think we've gone backwards there. I reckon a lot of stuff in the 50s, 60s, 70s were made quite well, but I think we went backwards moving forward. But now we're going in the right direction. I think these are your 90s, early 1000s release cars. Obviously the era correct on the slot car itself. So let's look at the Renault powered F1 car, and we're starting to get a lot more decals now. The front wing spoiler, so on the rear spoiler, are 2 different parts now, so that you can actually take them off. yeah, it's starting to look like a real good F1 car now. We're getting closer to the real thing. So that looks really cool. And these are Hornbys. Both are, I'm going to show you our Hornbys. And again, underneath, got a flat chassis and it's an inline motor. Quite basic, but yeah, do the job. The next one we'll have a look at is same era, different colours. And again, we're using a lot more decals now. I was stumped there for a tick because the wife is in the background staring at me thinking, hurry up, I want to go somewhere. So sorry guys. And again, front and rear spoilers can come off, and again, flip it underneath, nice and flat, very quick. You can tune these nicely, even today's standard. A lot of the old cars can be tuned up now to compete, but very basic. But now we're looking like beautiful F1 cars. So let's bring it into the future. Yes. And let's start off with Polycars Lotus 72. Holy moly. We've just jumped decades in design, quality, and of course this isn't current era, so I love how they've done that. They've gone old school, they've chosen a beautiful car, but these paint jobs, and this camera is not going to pick it up, is incredible. These are model cars now, and I love that because I'm a model collector, but I can actually play with this. Now the figure, again, painted eyes, and you won't be able to see that from the camera. You know, the hands are detailed, the suit's one colour, everything, they're sort of mimicking that era and time, and all the decals are, I think these are all either printed or slide-ons now. Flip it over and we'll have a look underneath, and this is, I think there's 8 screws holding this puppy together. And as you can see, I'm not going to take that apart because stuff will start falling out. It'll take forever to put it back together. And then we'll have a look at the motor. If you can see now, they're using the Ford, which was a big motor for the time, and mirrors, looks good. Now, similar era, done by SRC, is the Mclaren M23 in the Lucky Strike. Good looking car, really, really good looking car. Again, model-like, using the beautiful Ford motor, but just incredible. Yellow tinted screen. We're starting to change colours here. We've got pinstriping in the decals themselves. Just a wicked looking slot car. Even got some rivet marks, and my camera won't pick it up, but oh wow, the motor itself has got the screw marks and the screw holes that take the top of the motor off. And then if we flip it underneath, and again, I will not be opening this one up, sort of fall apart. I'll have to rebuild it again, but as you can see, nice, nice, nice. So that's some of the differences in evolution. Now we'll jump in and take a look at this special I was talking about. So let's check out this special. Now, when I say it's special, it is special. This is a slot car, an alarm clock, a sound box. Wow. Look up on eBay, the Carrera, it's called the Carrera Sound of Motors. That's the series. So check them out if you can find and buy them, because they are very hard to find. But my question to you is, do we bring this back? Do we bring the fun back? Do we bring these kits back? I absolutely love them. So let's take the top off if I can. Now, quick hint, I don't know how to get this thing off. I've never had it off. I think you can lift up the base, but that is a slot car on there, I believe. I'm going to say it is because I've never actually had it off, but that quality is beautiful. Good looking slot car. Very reminiscent to the older style, but with a bit more detail. And of course, it's the Mercedes McLaren, a lovely looking beast. And of course, hopefully this year, Mercedes don't walk away with it, but here it is, a beautiful looking slot car. What's so special about this? Now, as I said, it's an alarm clock, but also, it may or may not work because these are quite fidgety, but let's have a listen. As I said, they may or may not work. Let's try one more time. That is incredible. Now, I'm not 100% sure what other cars are in the range, but if you do find them, grab them, because these are quite cool, quite rare. But again, just a quick video to show the evolution of where we've come from and a nice little special at the end. Do we make these again? Should the slot car companies put a bit of fun, bit of child's play back into it? Because I think this is cool. So good, excellent, can't wait for the F1s. I think it's next weekend, or the 26th or the 28th. I'll be watching, very excited. Daniel Rick, come on mate, McLaren, let's get it done. But at that slot car guy on Instagram, thank you for watching. Check me out on Instagram, as I said. Please comment if you think we should make these, or what is your favorite F1 car and who do you go for at the moment. But cheers, be safe, take care, ciao.